pretty strong stuff. Alright guys, today I'm going to explain how to install a stereo system in your CAMARO 2SS 2016 to 2017 or 2018 if you have one of those yet. The main thing with installing a stereo on your 2016 or 2017 CAMARO is the engine sounds. So what happens when you put a aftermarket amplifier onto this car and you say if you're going to go for a drive, just testing out your system with the audio completely off, radio turned off, you get engine sound coming through your speakers, your subwoofers. So in my case, I have two Rockford Fosgate P2s getting powered by a 1000 watt RMS amp. So in my case, I did this full install, hooked everything up. I went to drive down the street and my car is just rumbling, and not a good rumble. So the sound I was getting was these cars, the 2016 Camaros, 2017 Camaros, GM actually pushes artificial noise through to the speakers. So, I mean, with it disconnected, you really can't tell too much of a difference. I mean, mine's just disconnected, so I can't tell a difference really. I still hear the great sound of the V8 in this vehicle, so it's not really a big deal. I mean, I've looked on forums, and a lot of people, you will go through 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pages before you actually find a person that actually tell you how to do it. The disclaimer about doing it the way I'm going to explain to you guys, you lose your park assist. So, you know, if you back up and you want to hear a beep whenever a car is about to come across, I mean, it's not going to do that anymore. You know, you're not going to hear your signals anymore. You can't speak to your vehicle, give it commands. So, I mean, those are really the three big things. It's another way that I was actually going to make another video on. I didn't have the time to actually break down, get the wiring diagram and everything and break it down for you guys to actually disconnect it from the amplifier. You can actually disconnect. It's a plug I'm going to show you guys to disconnect from the amplifier, or you can go to both of your doors and you can disconnect those microphones, the microphones that pump the artificial engine noise in. That's from my understanding, what people say. But the quick and easy fix I found is disconnect it from the amplifier. So I'll show you guys the plug. You got about 4 plugs. You got about 4 plugs on your amplifier. Yeah, that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So here's a brown plug. The first plug where the 3 plugs connect, it's this plug right here. It has a gray wire, a purple wire, a green and a brown wire, green and black, yellow and blue, and a blue and black wire. That is the plug you want to disconnect. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of people watching this video, you probably came across this. I could hook it back up and show you guys what it does when it's connected. So the main thing really, I mean, how to install, I'll get to the how to install now. Alright, so first thing first, to access the battery, to access it and make sure you get everything nice and tight, you're gonna have to pull this fabric back, and it has clips in there. It has a, well, actually I think it has one right there, and it's another one somewhere. Maybe it's just this one. So you gotta pop that clip out, and then it's a plastic cover right here. I don't know the name of it exactly, but it has four like plastic bolt shits on them. I don't know what you can call them. He has 4 of these on there. There they go, you know, right there, right there, right there. It has clips right here. So after you remove these 4, you will pull upwards on this, and then it'll pop out these clips. You want to make sure that this is all tucked away before you do that. So prior to reinstalling, which I'll explain this again, you want to make sure that this is tucked underneath this, so it looks nice and neat. And make sure you put your plastic piece back in there. For the wiring on this, you have a 200 amp fuse right here. You have a 350 amp fuse right there. Now, mine specifically, I didn't know too much about putting it right there. I mean, because I have a 150 amp circuit breaker, which I'll explain a little more. It's it's actually a 100 amp circuit breaker. Sorry. Which is right there, high amp. So I just put it on the terminal, around the terminal of the battery, since these are protected by fuses already. And and I have a circuit breaker on there. I mean, I figured that it would be okay. For my ground, it's not too difficult to find a ground in this vehicle. There's a ground right there, but me personally, I just grounded off where the battery is. So I just, you know, popped the nut off and I grounded it there. So you can get a line output converter, and you could actually tap into these wires here. You can tap into the plug where your speaker wires actually come from, and it'll make a lot more sense. You could do it from here, you know, before it actually gets to the amplifier, or you can do it from there. In my case, I did it at the speaker. So what I did, I mean, you get the positive, you know, you put the positive on the positive and the negative on the negative, of course. A lot of times, some people, you know, if you don't know which is which and you don't have the wire diagram, you can actually hook up a 9-volt battery to these terminals and you can touch them together. If the speaker sucks back towards you, which, I mean, this is looking from the speaker from the magnet side. So if you're looking at the speaker from the magnet side and you touch, you know, the positive to the negative, and it's wrong, if it's, you know, not, if you got the negative on the positive and the positive on the negative with the battery, the speaker will suck back towards you, which means that that is not right, that is incorrect. You are making the speaker work reverse. So you can swap it, and then you'll see the speaker actually push away from you. So it'll push forward of you, not towards you, and that's how you know you have the positive on the positive and the negative on the negative. So that's how you'll figure out your positive and negative side. Or like I said, you can come to the amplifier and you can actually tap into it before it gets, you know, before it goes to the speaker, you know, and then that would just be the input signal for the amplifier, even if you have a line output converter. In my case, I don't have a line output converter. My amp is a signal sensing, so whenever my amp senses a signal from the speaker, which is producing the audio, it'll cut the amp on, and I'll also get my audio signal from this. So it's pretty neat how this amplifier works. And my amplifier, in my case, I don't use the back seat. We all know the back seat on the Camaro is almost completely pointless. So in my case, my subs or in my back seat. So I'm actually gonna hook up everything how it is stock, and I'm gonna show you guys exactly what I'm talking about with the sound that the car produces when this is hooked up. So that plug is now in. That plug is now plugged in, and this is the plug that you have to disconnect. So I'm gonna show you guys how it operates when it's plugged in versus when that plug's taken out. So hey, you looking fat today. All right, guys. So as you can see, or not even see, you hear my speakers. They're vibrating. I'll cut it up. Well, actually, I don't even know if it matters. Actually, I'll rev the engine so you guys see what I'm talking about. So if you spend all this money on a system for this car and you get it all installed and then you have this problem, then you're like, damn, I just wasted all this money on this system that I can never use. So the functions that you will lose when you disconnect that connector from the amplifier, turbo signals, you can hear those now. You know, your seatbelt chiming, whenever your seatbelt is off, it usually chimes. You won't be able to hear that. The cross traffic, so usually, you know how you hear this beeping. Well, yeah, so say these sensors in the middle, those will no longer show up. It'll tell you that park assist is off. I might make another video when I actually disconnect everything and dig into the wire diagram, and I'll repin those wires in there. I'll just take off the microphones. But I mean, as you can hear, you know, my stereo system is playing a lot of noise through it that you will not want to hear. Like it's just at idle, when the vehicle's at idle, or when it's, you know, pressed on. Well, as soon as I get on the gas, you hear it all. You hear all the noise. So I'm get out and I'm going to disconnect it and show you exactly how it cues the noise. You know, it'll be no more noise, no more engine noise coming through. But I'm going to show you again what you will lose, and if that's something that you don't mind losing, well, this may be the thing to do for you. or like I said, you can, you know, pop these panels off these doors and you can disconnect those microphones, or you can actually do it from the amplifier if you want to dig into that, the wiring diagram, and find that which wires to actually clip. But the easier way, you know, if you don't mind taking a sacrifice from turn signals, not hearing those, you're not hearing the seatbelt chime, you don't have cross traffic alert or park assist. I mean, if you're willing to sacrifice those things, this is the easiest thing for you to do. So I'm gonna get out and I'm gonna show you the difference it makes once you disconnect that connector from the amplifier. All right, so like I said before, it's the connector right next to the brown connector on the Bose amplifier. It's literally right next to it. So that is the connector that you disconnect. So now I'm gonna get back in the car. I'm gonna take it for a spin. I'm gonna show you guys the things that you lose and the things that you still have. So we can hop in the car and I'll show you how that works. Okay, now as you saw, I just disconnected the connector from the Bose amplifier. Now I'm revving the engine. We have nothing. You know, these speakers are not moving, they're not flexing, they're not doing a thing. You know, now if you'll look up here, when I go to reverse, you'll see that it says park assist off. So park assist off, usually you'll have a little car up here and it has 3 zones. The middle zone, the side zone, and another side zone. The closer you get, that's the more red that it'll get. So you lose park assist. You also lose your cross traffic alert. So if I was, say, now I'm in reverse, if a car was coming, you know, across the screen, it will usually say, it'll tell you which side is coming in a beep, you know. That's another feature that you lose by disconnecting that connector. And also, the second thing, or the third thing you lose, is actually your turn signals clicking or chiming. So I go right turn signal, you hear nothing. I go left turn signal, you hear nothing. I turn on the hazards, you hear nothing. So that's another thing you lose. With the blind spot monitoring, if it's a car, maybe I'm thinking about my Lexus, I don't know. Usually with the blind spot monitoring, you will hear it at a beep. Maybe not in this car. I'm maybe getting confused with my Lexus, but it doesn't beep. So we'll go for a spin. Kind of show you guys that this. I always want to close the garage. Show you guys that this modification, it actually works. It's not just, oh, you're not even driving the car. Like, how do you know if it's not working or not? So let me actually put some music on and we'll boom it up a little bit. In the hood, we gon' bring the shit here. Them niggas know not to come here. In my hood, don't stop it for here. We gon' chase their ass right up out of here. In the club, got the killers in the rear. 2 to 3, I'ma sneak it up in here. Out of Houston, I ain't never been there. Young niggas, my niggas, they here. Still sippin' beer. We gon' do that shit up over here. Right over here. Oh, good. You gotta get that dude. Get this grass. Yeah, that'd be something cool to put there.
What the? That's an old push mower.
Just cut this grass like what? It was like old school push mowers.
Wibbles have been terminated.
I'm gonna play the beat we made. But this is actually like a brochure, like a laminated piece of paper. So it's not like, you know, you can't just, I mean, that's some pretty strong stuff. And those subs definitely tore it apart. Alright guys, so there you have it. That's the how-to video on how to install a stereo system in your 2016 to 2017 Camaro. I think they all run the same when it comes to stereo system, so it doesn't matter the trim level as long as the stereo system is the same. If it has the same amplifier or the same setup, you can do it all the same way. So that's the closeout for this video. I want to thank you guys for watching. I wanted you guys to stay tuned for more modifications to my Camaro. It's a lot of modifications you should stay tuned for. So stay tuned.